So at this point, what I've done is I've gone back and cut some more hay on the same field. When I cut the other day, I had to stop because of the fuel line, and so I left a patch sort of down the middle between the two rows that I already cut. And what I've gone back and done now is I've enlarged my cut on this side. I've made it a bigger cut to this side, and then you can see in the middle, that darker green area is where the hay cut from the previous cutting was. And then we get past the implements here, we get to this area that used to be sort of the middle of the two cuts. So you can see the previous cut, or the current cut, previous cut, current cut again, and now we'll come up to another dark green area that is right here, and that is the other side of that previous cut. So and from this angle, you ought to be able to see dark green, dark green, and light green. And the plan is to come back on either late on Tuesday or early in the afternoon on Wednesday, and rake that hay that's cut now, and then bale it and get it in the barn. Should hopefully get at least as much as I did on the last cutting. Hopefully some more this time around, and have a good stand of hay in the barn. This is just a long distance view so that you can see the areas of light and dark green from the previous and the current hay cutting. This is the hay raking process. You can see the tines on the rake pick up the hay that's laying in the field and pass it from one wheel to the next until they bunch it up at the back into what's called a windrow. This makes it easier for the baler to come along and pick up the hay and process it into bales. If you didn't pile it up like this in a row, it would be difficult to pass over the field and get all the hay. You'd leave hay behind, and it would take a considerable amount of time trying to go over and around and through the field enough to pick up all of the loose hay. By using this rake, you're able to make a row and allow for easier baling process, but it also makes for an easier process later on when you're trying to pick up the hay bales by putting everything in a row here before you bale it. When you bale the hay is then dropped out into sort of a single file line that makes it easy to go along and either pick up the hay by hand and toss it into the back of a truck or onto a trailer, or go along with another piece of equipment and pick it up in an automated fashion. So this clip of the rake is sort of an extended clip, but I wanted you to be able to see how the rake worked, and also let you see that when you get the rake going, you don't necessarily have to pick up the ends. Those sides are designed to work with a hydraulic pump to pick up, so that when you get to the end of the pasture, you can not run over things. In this instance, I just was in a hurry, and I just left the sides down and just made my turn and kept raking. But again, if you desired to, you could pick those arms up when you get to the end of the row like this, and then put them back down in time to start going back in the opposite direction. And again, this is just the raking process to make windrows. process. The baler is being pulled along the windrow. The pickup is picking up the hay, passing it to the auger, and then the auger in turn pushes the hay into the area where it will be put together and then tied with twine. Here we can see the hay being processed through. In just a second you'll see the mechanism in front click, and at that point a knot is tied around the bale. The spiked wheel is used as the hay is pushed along to turn the mechanism and determines how big a bale is to be made. Every time it clicks, the knot is tied. Now we're looking in the other direction. We see the bale that's just been tied, pushing out end of the baler, and another bale taking its place, being pushed out in a similar fashion. This process continues. You see, just like we're picking up the windrow that we created, now we're creating a row of freshly made bales. So part of the way through my baling, I had some trouble with the baler. One of the extensions that controls the size of the hay bale, the weight of the hay bale, broke loose and became dislodged and caused the baler to stop functioning. So be prepared to see a video in the future that shows me trying to repair this part. I've got a new part ordered and hope to have it on soon. So even though my baler broke down on me, I was able to get 40 bales out of the field and add to the stack that I already had. Brings me up to about 90 bales roughly, and it's a good start. Hopefully I'll be able to get the rest of the hay out of the field before it ruins.